My name is Solomon. I'm a senior construction engineering major, and I'm the project manager for Ming Racing and the chapter president for the Society of Automotive Engineers.
Tell me about how you got to where you are in that role. Where did you start, and what is it that makes you, that made you want to get to this point?
I started off back in February of 2024. Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2024. I joined the team. I started working actually on composites. Worked with Jeremiah for throughout the spring semester, and in the summer we realized that we needed more than one design lead for the subsystem, so soon became his co-lead. And through the summer I was working on composites. We worked on the entire R&D of the aero package of the car, manufactured it all from scratch, and then through my experience in composites I learned a lot of project management, and then I'm construction engineering, so all my degree is project management, estimating, and all the nuances that don't happen in mechanical. And then from there I looked into team leadership. I started working with our past president, Aidan Larkin, and then I was nominated for 25 president, or 26 president actually. And towards the end of 25 as built, I was voted in as the operations manager, so that's how I got into the officer role for the team. And yeah, it's been going steady, fun ever since.
What is the team? I mean, what is the club? What is it? What is SAE?
So we're the chapter of the Society of Automotive Engineering at ENT. Mm-hmm. So SAE, as a big picture, they do a lot of automotive standards, right? So if you would go and change your oil rate, it says 5W30, 5W40, or whatever oil weight. Like people say what type of oil you put in, that's all regulated by SAE. In the EV space, all the plug, and you go plug into your car, they're all the same. That's regulated by SAE. Same with tires, tire specs, and a couple of those issues. So anything that you'd think is standard on a car, that all the cars have the same, is SAE. Hell, even like standard size nuts and bolts, they're SAE. They're regulated by SAE. Same with wrenches and tools and all that. And we do a collegiate design series, which is their way of getting into the college space and growing automotive engineers and getting them interested in the industry. From there, we get to build and race a Formula Star car every year. And we've been doing this since 2013 was our first car. So going strong on 13 years with 11 cars.
There's a surface level goal of the club, right? And it's to get the car up and running, right?
To be the best.
And yeah, so what would you say is, your kind of a long-winded way of what is your goal here? What is the team's goal?
So
what would you describe it as?
Ultimately, everybody's here on their own volition, right? Everybody's interested in automotive or interested in the automotive industry, or just likes cars and wants to build a race car. And then us collectively as a team, we get to build a race car and then go race it. Our goal is always to be the best that we can. The team's goal is to build better engineers, businessmen, and innovators of the future.
Yeah. What is your goal out of this? You said everybody has their own individual, reason for being here. Why are you here?
Honestly, I started off to make friends, and now I have the best friend group I could ask for. But right now, it's to put to practice what I learned in class.
What are some challenges and wins that you've had while being a part of this? Things that you look back on and find to be like a definitive, point of learning for you?
Definitely scheduling and how it comes together, especially how a 6 or 7 month schedule can fall apart really quickly. And the importance of 4-week look aheads and actually scheduling a few weeks in advance. And then also, you're scheduling those 4 weeks in advance, but you want to look at the bigger picture, right? Taking a step back and learning how everything works, and then having to dive into each subsystem and learn a small hiccup. You think it's something small, but it ends up affecting everybody else and crashing your schedule and ruining an entire month's work. But you go back and you take a look at that and you learn from it and you move you move on and you be a better engineer.
So you talked about how this is the best friend group that you could ask for. You know, you
Yeah.
started to join. You joined to make friends. Navigating challenges like that, where one person messes up and then it affects everybody drastically, especially when it comes to stuff like your scheduling. What's it like navigating that with people that you spend time with, not just in the classroom but also outside?
You work together 9 to 5, and then you're friends outside of that.
Yeah.
Your coworkers on Saturday from 9 to 5. You get to yell at each other. You get into arguments, and then, once the argument is over, you're back to friends.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
What's your inspiration? What drives you to keep going, especially in times like I know what we talked about in the last interview was that the car didn't run. The last car that y'all worked on didn't run.
Oh, the next one will.
Yeah. What are things that keep you in that mindset that make you want to continue doing this even when things don't go your way?
When he said that the car didn't run, you know why the car didn't run. If you know why, then you know how to fix it. And if there's a chance of fixing it and going back and doing a better job, it's always, if you don't learn from your mistakes and if you don't go back and try to fix them and do better, then engineering isn't the career for you.
You said 11 vehicles that y'all made?
7, we're working on 8.
Okay. The most recent one though was electric, right? And that was
Yeah,
the first
that
time
was the first time we did electric.
Yeah.
2023 was our last time we did gas car. Took a 2-year break. Well, not 2-year break. We decided to do a 2-year build. That's what we call it. It's where we take 2 years instead of 1 to build the car. And we worked on that extensively.
What's the significance of making that change? And why is it something that you guys decided to do this past year?
The industry is moving that way. A lot of the good competition teams are moving that way. You want to compete with those guys. You want to be like, hey, I beat this team. And then also, if the industry is moving in that direction, and we want to get jobs, so we want to know where the industry is going, right? You want to get ahead of the 8 ball. You don't want to be behind it.
Why is this important to other students? Why, especially people that are starting and flowing in as freshmen? I know you guys have like a high school coming in here to look at this kind of stuff later.
Yeah, they're coming in.
And actually like a little bit.
Yeah.
Why should they care and why should they want to be a part of this?
It's really good on it. You tell people, I worked with 60 people on this project. I managed different personalities. I managed different timelines. I managed budgets. I managed arguing for my part. But yeah, that's the best part of it. That's why you want to do it. And outside of it, if you don't really like race cars and you want to do automotive and your goal in life is to be a racing engineer and build race cars for a living, that's the best place you can learn. Because you can break something here. You're not going to get fired. But if you go to a race shop and they hire you to be the brakes guy and you break something because you were stupid, they're not going to be like, oh, well, you learned from it. They're going to be like, well, there's 20 other people lining up on the door wanting your job.
Yeah.
So